So it's another day with this BMW. We have been asked, just try and turn that down a bit. We have been asked to come and give the customer a second opinion. Basically, it went into Arnold Clark, and Arnold Clark have advised brake discs all round, pads all round, and there was a fault with the EGR valve. So she took it to a local garage, and the local garage confirmed that the brake pads were actually absolutely fine. So this garage in question doesn't really deal with diagnostic side of things, so they've just advised me to come and have a look and see if the EGR valve has indeed got a fault, even though there isn't any warnings on the dash. But these BMWs and newer ones are prone to EGR valve issues, so we'll see what we've got stored fault code wise, advise the customer. But right now I'm going to most likely advise her not to get it done, even if there is a stored code, because she's not experiencing any drivability issues yet. So we will see what pops up. So the machine cut out there, but still got the fault codes loaded up. So we've got 2D9F00, exhaust gas restriction flap, long-term drift. We've also got exhaust gas restriction flap position, short-term drift. And we've got a pillar management thing that we're not interested in. But I think they've got mixed up in their terminology here. Exhaust gas restriction flap position. So that's the actual flap on the exhaust, not the EGR valve, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just loading up the AutoFix. This gives us better fault descriptions, usually than the top done on BMW. So we'll wait till that's charged up and see what the fault codes say on that. So luckily she didn't get them to replace the EGR valve, because the exhaust gas recirculation flap is right there. I've unplugged it right now, and the fault code's changed, so it does need that recirculation flap at some point. Just goes to show that as soon as somebody sees a fault code that's close to exhaust gas recirculation, in this case it's actually exhaust gas restriction, so that's where they've got muddled up. So luckily enough, she did not get them to replace that EGR valve, because it wouldn't be cheap. It wouldn't have fixed the fault. So I'm going to get everything put away, because it's absolutely pissing down. I'm absolutely covered here and soaked through. So move on to the next one. Cheers. So the next one that we've came to here is a 2020 Range Rover Evoque, complaining of an engine management light and service required exhaust filter full. So we've ran through a system scan of the car, just looking through, not looking at that. The engine control module, we've got particular filter soot accumulation bank 1, P2463, P246B, vehicle conditions incorrect for diesel regen. Okay, so vehicle conditions incorrect. Right, so what do we need to look at here? Let's go into live data and see what the pressure is of the DPF for the soot. So a bit of a boring one, but unknown to me. I spoke to the customer about this car, and they've explained to me they had somebody out that done the DPF regeneration on it. They put a cleaning agent through it, but that did not work. So I asked the customer, do you know if he had a machine on it, or did they just put the cleaning fluid through it? They says that he just put the cleaning fluid through it, and they tried taking it a run, but unfortunately he's not plugged the machine in, and he's not done the DPF reset on it. And basically what that means is, if I switch these round here, so if you look at that pressure there, you can see we've got 3 millibar of pressure on the DPF at the pressure sensor. However, they have not went in and done the adaptions for it, so the DPF filter replacement. So once I've done that, after finding out that information and carrying out the relevant checks and whatever, there is no fault codes. So basically I thought I was coming out here maybe to do a DPF clean, but this has already been done. That's why they phoned me in to see what the issue is. So the person that's been out before has not reset the adaptions, and that's why the light's not went out and it's not took it out of limp mode. It's back to full power now. I've took it a run. Yep. So that is us on this one. Bit of a boring one, guys. It's not really interesting, but it is what it is. So our next job, one of our trade customers, they've asked us, they're a body shop as well, but they've asked us to come in and repair this Vauxhall Corsa. What year is it? 65 plate, parking sensor wiring. You can see there the plugs, it's obviously took a dunt and the plugs broke. So this is a 400 quid loom from Vauxhall if you want to buy it now. So we're going to fit a plug on it that we use quite often. Just a 7-pin DIN plug, which is here, male and female. So you've got a female side there, you've got your male. These styles of plugs are more commonly found on trucks, but we fit them at a lot of applications. So the first job that we're going to do is just snip all of the wiring and get rid of that old plug. Same on this end. I'm just going to snip all the cables, get all those old pins in there. Make sure there's no damage to the wiring. There's a wee bit of damage there, so we'll shorten that. It still should be enough. It should still be fine to fit to the car, even though it's got a wee bit shorter loom. If not, we'll need to extend it, and we'll put on the aftermarket plug. So you've got basically your sealed rubbers on there. You can see I've stripped the wire, so it's just ready for the actual pin contacts itself. Then we can fit that to the plug, push these into the back of the plug so it's watertight, as best as it's going to be. Water will get in anywhere. Do the same on this side, connect the plug back up, tape it up, and we'll show you what it's like after it's taped. That's where we are with it now. All the pins are on. A total of 6 wires, so 12 pins to do. Don't want to film it all. But what we're going to do is get the pin plugged in the right orientation, get the pin numbers matched up correctly, and then the odd one I'm going to bung off, because you've got wee bungs there. So there we are. So we've just fitted the plug. It's a bit overkill, bit of a big plug, but end of the day it's there, it works. It's a twist lock and it's been taped up with Centroplast, so this is really good tape, this stuff. Keeps all the water out. So I just need to put the bumper back on. That'll be us. So we have rebuilt that and we've just missed the rain, which is good. So we're just doing a full system scan, but we've already checked. If you go into the park side, we are just behind a Honda Civic. And if we go any further, you can see it's sensing my van as well, it's picking that up. So we'll clear, just check, make sure the fronts are working, even though there wasn't any complaint. The fronts are working. So let's go into park assist. Yep, so all the sensors open, no surprise. just wait till that clears. I might need to switch the ignition on, the engine off. So it's all cleared, happy days. Park assist is back to working, it's not flashing anymore. So what would yous have done in this situation? Would yous have just soldered the connection together, or would yous fitted a plug? Like it says, that plug was a bit extreme. It's a plug that you'll find on HGVs and stuff, but like it says, I work on that sort of side of things as well, so it's just something that I keep in stock. But aye, that's us. We'll move on to the next one. So you join me here, we've got a Mercedes 2010 ML350. We have been asked to come out and check a battery drain overnight for this car. So we are going to run through the steps that we take. First step that you can do is do a diagnostic test on it. Run a health scan, see if there's anything obvious on the reported fault codes. Typically we don't do this test unless it's a really pernickety battery drain. This one here is a battery drain overnight, so we should be able to find it fairly simple within the hour sort of time that we've been given. So there we go, it's a template ML350 and I'll show you what we've done if I just switch around. So you can see here, I'm not going to run you through the full steps, but you can already hear what's running, or what's continuing to run, so this is actually quite an easy one, but we're just going to run through the process anyway, because not everybody knows how to check battery drains. So we've got a meter set to 10 amps DC, connected in series with the battery, and you can see we've locked the car, let the car go to sleep, and we've got a current draw of just under 3 amps. Now typically we would go through each individual fuse, but when we've let this car sit for a while, I don't know if you can hear, but you can still hear the blower fan is still on. So whether this is fitted with an additional Webasto fan, I don't think it is. It might just be the actual blower itself. The control unit on the blower is shorted out in some way, which has caused this fault. But we'll find the blower fuse and do the step-by-step process anyway, regardless. And we'll see if our battery drain goes away. So we've just put up Hella, and we're looking at the wiring diagram for the blower motor. So you can see it's controlled there by F91, which is a 40 amp fuse. That goes directly to the Alpha 28 Hector Bravo blower control ECU, and the ECU is obviously getting its inputs from the SAM side of things, I'd imagine. Oh sorry, for the control, AC control unit, and whatever that is sending out will turn the blower motor on and off depending on the speed set by the driver. So it looks like in that control unit we have got a failed component and it's shorted out, which is causing it to run all the time. Or on a very odd occasion we could have a short elsewhere in the wiring, which is very unlikely, let's just say. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to confirm, we're just going to run through the test as normal. We're going to confirm by checking the voltage drop across fuse F91. So our fuse F91 is the fuse at the very top there, which is a 40 amp. Try and get my torch in here. You can see it's just at the very end. So that's a 40 amp fuse for the heater blower. So what we're going to do, just for the purpose of the video I suppose, is try and pop the 40 amp fuse cover out of there, just so that's off, and that means we can fit both of our leads to do the voltage drop test across the fuse. So they're across the fuse, and what we're going to do is just put our multimeter back on in series with the battery, weirdly enough, it seems like the blower motor has decided it's turning itself off. So this is just typical. So we're going to put our meter on millivolts anyway, so we'll just let it sit for a bit to see if the blower motor does come back on. So right now it's behaving the way it should be. It's trying to go to sleep. So lucky enough, we've just seen it go back to a fault state. You can see there we've got 3 millivolts of voltage drop going across that fuse. The amperage is back up 3.25 amps. So it's back in a fault state now. So something is commanding this heater blower to come on when it shouldn't be, and that is why the vehicle's draining. So I think it's about time we locate the control unit for the blower motor and we'll take it from there. So I've went back to the diagrams and I am looking at pin 2 and 4. Pin 2 is our LIN bus. So I'm going to scope the LIN bus, make sure that's okay. We've also done a scan on it, and after a full clear, this is the fault that comes back: blower front LIN bus communication error. Now in this blower, once the LIN bus loses communication with this blower motor, so if we were to unplug this control unit, the blower motor will turn on automatically. So that just must be an effect of obviously losing its communication. It's just turning it on for the sake of not being able to communicate with the module. So we're just going to check the output coming for the AC control unit, make sure we've got a good LIN bus signal. If we've got a good LIN bus signal, then I can't really think of anything else but to fault the actual controller itself for the blower motor, because the blower motor's just got a straight path to ground. It's got a power supply coming in from the under seat, and everything else is controlled through the actual control module, obviously. So if we come back here, I'm just back probed into the LIN bus wire, and you can see we've got LIN bus communication there, which is good communication. It's just this scope isn't very good at picking up speed wise, so there is good communication there with the LIN bus. The waveform is where it's meant to be. But just to show you what I mean by if we lose communication once we turn the ignition off, it turns the blower on. So if I disconnect that main plug there, if I can get it, can I get that now? There we go. So once that's unplugged, you'll hear the blower motor kick in automatically. That's just in effect of losing the communication from the AC module. So quite satisfied that we need this control unit here, this Valeo control unit. Once that's fitted, it'll be able to control the blower motor the way it's meant to control it. But like I said, we've got everything there. It's just obviously that control unit is losing communication once the ignition's turned off, or it's going into a fault state and activating the actual blower motor, which is what we've been experiencing. So we'll need to get a new blower control unit, and that'll sort the issue. So you join me on the next job. It's a Renault Kangoo van, 17 plate, and it's experiencing intermittent wipers not working and headlights coming on themselves. So the fault isn't happening now, but we're going to dig up some wiring diagrams so we know what we're looking at, see what the circuit looks like for both of them, and hopefully that'll give us a sort of indication of what could possibly go wrong with this, or what could be going wrong with this. As the fault's intermittent right now, it's a bit of a mystery, but we're just leaving the van running and seeing if it faults. So we've dug up a couple of diagrams and we've done a health scan on the car, and On the UCH you can see we've got a combined stock under steering wheel, socket, short circuit to earth. The fault isn't happening now, but I can get it to happening, so I will show you where the fault actually is. So you can see now we've got nothing on. The lights are working as they should. Wipers are working as they should as well. Then there's a red cable that runs along there, which basically combines the two stocks together. So if I'm going to try and get it to do it. I got it to do it a couple of times, but I'm going to try and catch it on video. So if I give this a little wiggle, you can see there the lights have come on themselves. You can see the two headlamps are on. And that is just from wiggling those wires in there. So if I try and wiggle it back in, you can reset it, turn it on, and that's it back to normal. And the wipers also work. So I've just turned the steering wheel there, and you can see that's where the connections go in there. It's kind of hard to get it to do it, to be honest with you, but it's so intermittent. You should really replace the stocks and the cable. I'm going to try and get it to... There we go, so it's faulted there. And what happens is your wipers won't work, but they'll work when you press the squishers. And let's see what fault codes, if there's any different fault codes come up that are active. So let's go into Nano UPC, we'll go into UCH and see if any of these faults are active or if they've changed. Combined stock, so there we go, we're active again, short circuit to earth. Combined stock under steering wheel, which will bring on these faults. So if you've got a Renault Kangoo with this similar issue, I believe there might be an updated cable for it, I'm not too sure. But yep, the issue is with the actual connections in there. So that's where to look if you've got a similar issue. So we're going to advise getting the combined stocks and the new cable, just because this customer's so far away that we're not going to take a chance on a possible fix. So we're going to get the parts priced up and we'll advise her what to do next. So again, thanks a lot for watching this. We'll see you in the next one.